Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a new quiz with questions from some previous quizzes that you have created in Canvas. And this can be a tricky process, so I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. This is only if you don't have existing question banks, which can be a problem in Canvas. Canvas automatically creates question banks once you've created questions inside of quizzes. The problem with the question bank that Canvas creates for you, and I'll show you right now, is that it's titled Unfiled Questions, and it's going to have all the questions that you didn't organize into a question bank. These are just so you have a copy of them. It's not going to help you if you have multiple quizzes and a bunch of unfiled questions. You won't know where they came from. So in this case, what we're going to have to do is export these quizzes as a QTI file, import them back into Canvas, and move the questions from the question banks that are created on the import into one question bank. And from there we can create the new quiz. Sounds complicated. It is a bit. So let's give it a shot. So the first step is to figure out which quizzes you want the questions for, and I have an example here. It's just real simple. Quiz 1 and Quiz 2 each have one question in them. So the first step is we're going to export these quizzes. So to do that, we're going to go to Settings. Then we're going to, on the right, click on Export Course Content. And the export type is going to be quiz, so we're going to bubble in quiz. And here's where you can select the quizzes to export. In my case, it's all my quizzes because there's only 2 and I want to combine them. But in your case, you might want to pick and choose the exact quizzes to export. Now we're going to create the export. And depending on how big these are, it could take a while. You'll see it says your content has been exported once it's done. What I like to do is refresh the page, and then I click on the one that says export from less than a minute ago. That's always the right one. And when you click this, it'll download it to your computer, somewhere on your computer, so you'll want to know where that goes to. In my case, it goes to my download folder, but in your case, it might go to your desktop. So now that we've done this is an important step. We don't want to just import it back straight away. We're going to go back to our quizzes, and we are going to actually rename these 2 quizzes, because when we import those new ones, it can create duplicates. So what we want to do is click in here, click Edit, and I'm going to call this Quiz 1. And I'm just going to put a little dash, just in case my students have already taken this quiz. I don't want them to freak out if I give it some crazy name. Saving that, go back, and we're going to do this to Quiz 2, and you'll see why in a second. Just going to put that little dash in there for Quiz 2 and click Save. And now when I go to Quizzes, you'll see they've got the 1 and the 2 with the little dash. So that's going to help me later on, trust me. So now what we're going to do is import that QTI file. So we go to Settings, go to Import Course Content on the right, and under Select 1, we're going to select QTI File. Then choose File. And like I said, for me it goes to my Downloads folder. It's going to be the name of the course -export.zip. So if you're looking for this file, that's what it's going to be called. So I'm going to double click on that, and you'll see that it's now in Canvas with the .zip. It has to say .zip. Now for default question bank, I always just leave this because I've tried to adjust it. It really didn't make a difference for me. And then we are just simply going to click on Import. Okay, now it says complete, and we're going to select quizzes on the left. And here's why I renamed our original quizzes. Because if I hadn't put the dash in there, I would just have doubles of those quizzes without knowing which one was the right one or which ones my students might have done already. And also note that these 2 quizzes came in published. So what we're going to do now is just delete them. So you're going to delete the duplicate ones that have a slightly different name, just so we don't confuse our students. And now we just have the regular ones. But now when I go into my question banks, click the 3 dots and click on Manage Question Banks, you'll see now I have, in addition to unfiled questions, I have 2 question banks, one for each of those quizzes that I just imported. So basically I created question banks by importing those quizzes back into Canvas. Now what we can do is add a new question bank. So I'm going to do that. And you can name this anything you want. I'm going to name it Combined Bank. But if you have a name of the quiz, if it's going to be the final exam, you can title it Final, whatever works for you. You'll see it has no questions in it. Now we can go to the Quiz 1 question bank. Just click on the name. And over here you can move multiple questions. We're going to click that. And I only have 1 question, so I'm going to check it off. But if you have more than one, you're going to check them all off. And then the destination, Combined Bank. So we're going to move it to Combined Bank. Okay, now we're going to repeat the process. I'm just going to click Question Banks up above here. And now we'll go to Quiz 2. Click on the name. Move multiple questions. And we're going to check the questions that we want to move and the destination, which will be Combined Bank. And then move questions. Now if we go back to our question banks, we have a combined bank that has all the questions that were used to be in Quiz 1 and Quiz 2. Now those have 0, and Combined Bank has them both. So now that I've done that, I can create my new quiz. So I'll just go to Quizzes, plus Quiz. I'm going to call this Quiz Combined Quiz. And then when I go to Questions, I can now create a new question group. And I can click on this Link to a Question Bank. And we are going to look for that one that's called Combined. Combined Bank, here it is. And it's got the name of my course underneath it. So I'm going to click on that, select Bank. And now you can see down here it says questions will be pulled from the bank Combined Bank. If you want, you can pick a random number or the total number of questions in the bank if you want all the questions on this test. That's what I'm doing in this case. I'm picking 2 questions, 1 point per question, and those are coming from the Combined Bank. So now that we've done this, we're going to click on this Create Group, and then we can click Save or Save and Publish. I'm just going to click Save because I'll go back and put my dates in. But that's basically what we've done. We've created a new test that has all the questions from Quiz 1 and Quiz 2. Little tricky. Sorry for the convoluted explanation, but this might help you out. Thanks for watching.